Hey guys, so in previous videos you saw me put in the Mishimoto intercooler and pipe kit. Now we're going to start taking advantage of it by putting some more boost and more fuel to this engine. We're going to start doing some power upgrades to this truck. It has about 290,000 miles, which kind of high, but you know, I think she could take it. With any power upgrades, if you're throwing more boost and more fuel at it, you want to really make sure the head gasket and the head stays on. So we're going to start off by putting ARP head studs on. And to start that, we're going to put the engine to top dead center, pull the valve cover, and start pulling the rockers. So now we're going to turn the engine over using the alternator and find top dead center through the crankcase breather hole, which is, you line up the VP44 has a line on it, there's a line on the case, and we're going to line those up. From the looks of it, it looks like we only need to pull the intake rockers. Now I'm not sure yet as far as what the rest looks like, but as far as here goes, the front goes, there is clearance, so we'll give it a try. Alright, so now we're going to start by going by the sequence of the ARP instructions. We're going to go one by one to install them. We're going to put the bottoms in dry per the instructions. Then we're going to put the supplied lube on both sides of the washer and the nut. And then torque it to 100 foot-pounds first. Once we get them all done, then we'll go to 125. Now we just have to repeat that like 24, 26 more times. So it looks like I'm gonna have to take off the exhaust rockers as well. There's just not enough space to fit the socket in there. So I guess you don't have to fully take it out as much as just loosen it, and you can move it just a little bit. The rocker and whatever the rocker sits on. Once it's loose, it can move, and you just get the socket past it. So that's a wrap for today. Running out of sunlight. As you can see, I don't want to do any of this in the dark. I have to clean up in the dark, so I will see you in the morning. Good morning, we're back today. We made some good progress yesterday. Got about half of the studs in. For the night, I just put the rocker arms back in their place, placed the valve cover on it, just so there's no dust or any issues or anything going into the top end there. But today we're gonna pick up right where we left off. As I'm filming this, you may also notice that I'm taking some still images, doing it for Diesel Power Magazine. Used to be Diesel Power Magazine, now it is only a website. But for Diesel Power, I did a write-up on the Mishimoto install. Be sure to check that out. And there's a new write-up on this. This is part of it, coming up soon. I'm getting quite the sunlight and shadow here, but I'll show you a little bit how I'm lubing these up. Put a little lube right into the washer bag, moved it all around, got an initial coat on the washers. Then I'm just taking them out. As I'm putting them in one by one, I'm taking them out one by one, lubing up the top threads per the instructions. Couple dabs, rub it around. Bottom threads don't get anything, and then the nut. That's a good amount on there. And I kind of mash around with the washer so that they're both fully coated. That took much longer than I expected, but we got all the ARP head studs in at 100 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna go around again in the same order and bring them up to 125 foot-pounds. So that was it. I put them all at 125. Then I started going over them again. I did about half of them just to see if everything settled in, and I didn't get any movement out of it. So they're all tight. They're all to 125. Now we're gonna reinstall the rocker arms and start setting the lash. The intakes were pretty good. Only one was a little bit off. It is still within the range. Now we're gonna hit the exhaust. So that was a bit odd. A truck with 290,000 miles with no record of valve adjustments. They were in spec. They were right on the money, if not, you know, one step below, a little tight. But now we're gonna rotate the engine to bottom dead center and check the rest of them. So I just double checked the lash again and everything is within spec. So now I got a fresh valve cover gasket I'm gonna toss on there, and then we're gonna start it up. So that's it for today. Head studs are in. Check the valve lash, all was good there. Put a fresh gasket on the valve cover. Put the valve cover back on, and she's good to go. Be sure to follow along in this series. We're gonna start putting some more power to it. So while I'm cleaning up my tools here, I got a couple afterthoughts. If I were to do this again, what took me a long time, what did I do wrong, stuff like that. So I did put one of the long exhaust ones into a regular short hole. It happens, I guess. There's 26 of them and one messed up. What also happens is that I got lost, and I also took two head studs, two head bolts out at the same time. I wasn't trying to do the one-by-one method. One-by-one method has been proven to work, but I hope that doesn't cause an issue. A couple things that I wish I had and would make the process go a little bit faster was I wish I had one of those 90-degree, very small impacts, the ones in the back. Those took me forever, because you could only put them in by hand or by wrench, and you had to hold the stud because it'd spin, and one of those would have been perfect. I did save some time by using, my drill and my impact, but you can't get them all. 14 millimeter, 12 point, half-inch drive socket worked perfect. I used that for all the torquing all the studs. So just a couple things to think about if you ever go to try and do this yourself. It took me quite a few hours to get it done. And I still can't believe the valve lash. The valve lash was either spot on or right in spec. So that's a mystery to me. 290,000 miles. Think about it.